Forward. Quote, this little volume, the result of meditation and experience, is not intended to is not intended as an exhaustive treatise on the much written upon subject of the power of thought. It is suggestive rather than explanatory, its object being to stimulate men and women to the discovery and perception of the truth that they themselves are makers of themselves by virtue of thoughts which they choose and encourage, that mind is the master weaver both of the inner garment of character and the outer garment of circumstance, and that as they may have woven in ignorance and pain, they may now weave in enlightenment and happiness. James Allen. End quote. Bravehearts, Urbanites, Coach Mad Hatters, Urban Creatrix, Crimson Velvet VIPs. We are gathered here today, Tuesday, March 8th, 2022, at 9:30 a.m. DMV Standard Time. So I'm hopping into a different timeline. And it's amazing how my psyche does this every now and again. Every couple of years or so, it goes through this inner loop of timing where things unfold parallel to the regular sense of things or the routine sense of things. Hold tight, hold the line. Okay, we're back. It seems like the neighborhood animals get in an uproar all together and it begins to be a symphony. Very interesting how that happens. Talk about timelines. Okay, so timing, divine timing. I've been on a hunt for living examples regarding timelines, storylines, love lines. What's the other one? Hold on. And I was about to say, I just wrote them down this morning again, just inside of um, a more present entry. So, timelines, storylines, lifelines, love lines. Those will be the upcoming journaling series, which starts Sunday, April 3rd. The power pointers or the points of view will go with the 4 pointers being timelines, storylines, lifelines, love lines. And so exclusively for the urban creatrix, those who are preparing for licensure through the urban creatrix credential, we are starting with who's who. And it is all anchored into this thing that I like to call Pixie Wonder. So I have begun sending out through the snail mail, mind you. We taking it back. We taking it back to the original grapevines. And so it's going to show up in the mail like a Wonka golden ticket. And so if you get one of these from me, that means that I am inviting you to a opportunity. Very, very unique opportunity. very intriguing opportunity, if I should say so. And so I'm getting up here now to make the public declaration that if indeed you do get a Pixie Wonder invitation to join our treehouse, take it seriously. We are gathering the story chaperones. I'm going to leave this realm always giving substantial honor to the slave narratives. The slave narratives changed the whole fucking trajectory on the American motif and how it was being narrated around the globe with regards to the American slave. And this even goes inside nicely the sub conversations around if slavery even existed. Whether we are able to validate, vet, and validate chattel slavery or the Willie Lynch letter or Harriet Tubman or any other milestone namesake that we have come across in our historical valuing. Fact of the matter is, something went the fuck down. Something occurred, something happened, something shifted, something has always been kept cloak and daggered when it comes to Afro-melanated folks. We do know that. So I've been noticing creatives, those that are right inside of the valve of this energetic fluency, and they are doing their due diligence as chaperones of this peculiar energy that says, I'm going to get folks together and we're going to have these amazing conversations, and whoever shows up for them will find something for themselves. Some will find just a little bit, some will find a whole bunch. But either way, I'm going to be a host of these conversations. Everybody will get fed. And it's amazing some of the conversations that I've been able to pull up on. Usually not my genre or even folks that I even knew what was going on inside of other pockets of interest. It's amazing things what an immaculate conversation will do for the observer, especially when they're hearty conversations, transparent conversations. They heal beyond measure because insight is the true value in my particular opinion. In my in my intriguing opinion is what I like to call it now that I am pixie bound. I'm pixie bound. Yeah, and the dog just confirmed it. It's my cosigner. So those that are studying to become urban creatrix, the licensures to be a story chaperone, as well as just becoming an all around journaler. And to journal, and I'm not talking about becoming a journalist, that's the industry. No, a journaler, that's more on the grapevine frequency, meaning that you are an appointed scribe by only by way of your natural attraction to it. And first and foremost, you journal for self. Because when you take an active role in journaling, that is your contribution to your flavor of Akashic Records. Because there's something magical that happens between the head, the heart, and the hand. When you preserve things in print, especially from a first hand point of view, that is a physical and non physical gesture. You blend them all up together, magic. That's the reason folks have so much problem with trying to describe magic because you can't. Everybody has a different sensibility to it. And so, what I might think might be magic, you may not. And so, if I'm trying to explain magic to you by the way it engages with me and you have no comprehension of it, then somehow, some way, you might be figuring you don't believe in magic. I beg to differ. All you got to do is just be now, be keen of it. Be like, all right, magic, I'm looking for you. Show yourself. Ha! You'll be amazed. That's the same thing I did with divine timing. Okay, divine timing, I am on the lookout for you. Reveal yourself to me. And that's exactly what it's been doing. That's exactly what it's been doing. I'm getting a little better with other things and other aspects in my life where I am demanding it to show itself or I'm demanding it to get the fuck. And like I said, I'm still new, but I'm almost certain this is the part they don't want you to know about. They don't want you believing in the power of your commands. They don't want you believing in the power of you sharpening your vocabulary, you sharpening your first handwriting. I don't like the way my handwriting look. Do more of it. I guarantee you after a while you will. Get back to writing stuff down as it emerges or blossoms in your interior dialogues. And then after a while, just peek back in on it, circle back. Just flip through your journal and see what grabs you. If it grabs at you, that means divine timing is now at play. Pay attention to it and see what it says to you. It will not let you down, but you must participate and engage with it. All journals that you are not dealing with at the time, get them a shelf. Get them their own file cabinet, credenza, bookshelf, or even go get you a trunk. Go get you a nice wooden trunk with a lock on it. And make sure somebody you love, someone you trust, know where the key is to know what's inside the treasure chest. Because I'm almost certain those that come after you are going to have sheer direction from your journals and notebooks. Those that stay on top, they are thrilled when it's time to inherit Uncle Johnny's journals. It's not a game out here, people. That's what keeps the lines secure, the demarcations pliable, the roots deep and strong and vibrant. It's those notes, those keynotes. We would be surprised at how much golden enlightenment comes through being able to somehow, some way become aware of the contemplations of our loved ones, what you struggle with. And one thing that I have found that is true to form is that if I can take the time to sit with myself and process it onto the page, I don't need no therapist. And I don't say that with shade to therapists. But nobody is going to be able to unlock this journey but me. I know I am the only one in this time and space that knows exactly what has happened to me from moment to moment of this entire existence. You can tell other people, but it's still secondhand. And secondhand, anything can be good when it shows up in its proper context. But firsthand is always better. So only you can tell you about you appropriately. And it gets tricky. It does, it gets tricky. Especially seeing as that you are not the same person you was just 3 seconds ago. Things are coming in, things are going out. Things are processing and getting embedded and sprouting and dying and rebirthing. There's all kinds of things going on. In the physical world as well as the non physical world, it can become exhausting trying to keep up with all the frequencies that can run in and out and through you at any given moment. There are some things you're going to agree with today that you are not going to agree with tomorrow. And keeping track of all of these things, yeah, I don't think we really truly know what it means to be rooted and grounded. Yes, that's that heavy shit. That's that heavy, weighty shit. But it is what anchors this realm, the three dimension. This dimension is weighty, it's dense. So I did want to come up and say that and let you know that your Pixie Wonka Golden tickets are now slowly but surely finding themselves to your doorstep. And it isn't anything that you need to do outside of the instructions inside of that invitation, and that's it. And this is a private affair. I'm not open to the public. So if you do receive one, count yourself wonder filled. Count yourself blissful and intriguing. There is a history that connects and flows and is channeling through you this very second. So I just show up to help you contribute properly to your Akashic records. That's what Mad Hatters do. Think about Alice's life, or even her maneuvering once she tumbled down that rabbit hole. Just imagine how bland that would have been had there been no Mad Hatter. He's the one that got her bopping in the right direction. And, hosted her with a little tea, little craziness, little outlandishness. That's what Mad Hatters do. So also that will be inside of the invitation is a few general assemblies around us recently adopting the 4-day work week with Wonka Wednesdays off. This has been a progress with a long time coming because it honestly is hard to break out of the 40-hour work week mentality. That's been one of the most hardest things I've had to do was break out of that mentality. Break out of that 5 days a week, 2 days, 5 days on, 2 days off thing. And so revolutionizing the whole 7-day work week has been a major challenge for me. So one of the things that will arrive in your packet is the weekly sampling that gives you the opportunity to check it out. If it's something that you're already into, congratulations, and we look forward to hearing about how your adaptations have gone. But if you receive this and it's a relatively new thing, let me proceed with telling you no pressure. There is no pressure. There is no pressure. Acknowledging it is the first step, and then allow things to naturally unfold thereafter. But it is, once it clicks in, it is a very wonderful thing to be shifting paradigms into. And this is for the urban creatrix, the creatives, the solopreneurs, the intrapreneurs, the imagineers, those that pretty much um, can situate and have 100% power over their day to day, meaning that you have not signed off the majority of your work week to someone else. And that doesn't mean that you're not working on a big project and your time is going to be consumed for the next 6 months. and then you're back on to some. No, I'm not talking about that. I am talking about those that have signed on to a 9 to 5, where you pretty much is the contract of, yeah, not, you do not qualify for this at all unless you work for a cool organization that has already adopted the 4-day work week. If you work for the 5 out of 7 folks, if you still work for that, the 9 to 5 or the 5 out of 7, then this isn't going to work for you because you're going to have to be able to um, lead the cause for this. And it's going to take some time to get situated. It may take some time to get situated. So, yeah, that's all I have for now. Just dropping the little seeds coming through, dropping the little seeds. So, don't forget to celebrate your receivership, whatever it is that, whatever that may look like. Because at some point, even the most independent folks receive things. So celebrate your receiverships. Celebrate your museships. You are with Muse. If you are creating anything that is of a original plight, know that in your non-physical spaces dwell the muses. Give them some acknowledgement. You ain't got to go and start setting up altars if that's not in your, or already in your bosom, already in your vibe. But what you can do is just pause for a minute and inside of your interior voice, just say thank you to muses known and unknown. I may not be able to readily identify you. I feel your presence because I'm creating shit. Thanks for hanging out with a sister. Thanks for hanging out with a brother. I'll take it even as far as to say that you may have romantic muses that are around you. Thank them for their love. Just say thank you. And you can try it out. Tell them to reveal themselves. I bet you run into an article or something that identifies certain. Yeah, yeah. I dare you. I dare you to ask the muse that's in love with you to identify itself. The non-physical muse. You know what? Hey, you know what? I'm not even gonna put no limitation on it. So a non-physical or a physical muse may cross your path and identify itself. And it's not even gonna have to tell you. You're gonna know it loves you just by the way it shows up in your presence. And that doesn't mean to your satisfaction because some muses show up to challenge you, frustrate you, change you, shift you, expand you. So just because you ain't satisfied, don't label it negative just yet if that's the little mainstream term you want to throw on it. Because I'm still challenging folks to redefine what it means to be positive and negative. Like, stop saying shit just because mainstream threw it out there and said, this is how we, because subconsciously you are telling yourself that you're more masculine than you are feminine and you're supposed to be balanced. Take those labels off of whether you're satisfied or dissatisfied. Some things do come in such chaotic packages. But if you be able to understand the wealth of its presence, I guarantee you're going to switch the way you speak about it. You're going to switch the way you feel about it. You're going to switch the way you think about it. So, yeah, that's my preaching for today. And when you take a look at the way that the 4-day um, work week is all set up, then you'll see how it is that I have time on a Tuesday at 10 a.m. to be around here recording things. I am so glad that this particular weekly schematic poured out of me. And I'm glad that I had enough sense to stay with it because it is about to be a thing. It's already a thing thanks to Tim Ferriss. It's already a thing, has been a thing for a great long time, but you have to be flexible and an owner of your day to day. If you're not, it's not going to work for you. So that probably would be why some of the 9 to 5ers would be like, well, why I ain't never heard about this? Because you were already locked into a 9 to 5. It was never going to fit you. So that's just me figuring why I hadn't gotten to you before now. Um, but yeah, so journalers, get ready. Journaling season is afoot. It is less than 30 days. from now, and so we're preparing. We are preparing, and I have not forgotten about my segment that is speaking about what I consider to be sacred sensuality. For some reason, I keep getting the hunch to hold off. So when that happens, I usually don't go out of alignment and do it anyway because I've been hunting for divine timing. So I think that that will hit the scene precisely when it's supposed to, and um, yeah, you'll be able to enjoy it then because I do. And I am calling it Coach Sky's intriguing opinion because I do have intriguing opinions when it comes to certain things. Sacred sensuality is one of them. So yeah, be looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I do wish you well.